So the international box office is starting to reopen, and yep, they say that the Europe's robust local film industry, Hollywood movies are still a bulk of the summer box office, which has been a problem for Europe's box office for a long time. They have been relying on the money of Hollywood for a while, because I think China can rely on their own or Russia. They don't have to rely on Hollywood. But I'm talking about countries, and what and like that are not Russia. Okay, despite Europe's robust local film industry, Hollywood movies tend to be, you know, bulk of the summer box. Even France, arguably the biggest nation of moviegoers, U.S. picks tend to skyrocket 70% the season, according to U.S. analytics and some ComScore. There is some sympathy in the inevitable position faced by U.S. studios. A few of their tentpoles amid rising virus cases in markets such as Texas, California, and Florida, and other movies will be met with empty theaters, going to separate amongst some international cinema operators and a global exposition business that is being impelled over concern over domestic releases coming out. And yet, if not all big movies, 70 to 80% of the box office is offshore, and it feels like that's been forgotten. So, yep, Europe in terms of theaters, yep, UK got reopened, and a lot of countries in Europe had theaters already reopened, and mostly Europe, theaters are now reopened. We are waiting to see what happens with release dates before making a final decision, because it's different if one movie releases for several movies, which into which operates 91 UK venues. So yep, UK may not be coming out, it may not be reopening, and yep. Rudy Jones, Comcore, UK, Ireland, Italy, Middle East, and Africa. 45% of European cinemas have reopened halfway in the summer season. There's a huge appetite for global temples. Which is alright. I think Tenet probably may not be delayed in Europe, but will be delayed in America. And yep, the country's theaters will reopen in France, and yep, a lot of movies theaters have been reopening in France. But the problem is they are relying that for years Europe has been relying on foreign movies instead of their own cinema, which is one problem with Europe. Theaters, which they have been relying on foreign movies for a while, which means European movie makers will probably, hey, we've got to make our own movies. For example, Japan and China and India have very big film sectors. They have very big film sectors, so they won't have to worry about Hollywood. Especially China, India, and Japan, those three countries in particular, and South Korea as well. But Europe, they have been relying on international movies for a while. So yep, France is making movies like How to Be a Good Wife, The Goal, and Hollywood's its own. Stock has been stagnated to about 45% of its usual admissions because of course there's no Hollywood movies. It'll be catastrophe and Mulan and Tenet are for delayed. So that means Disney and I think if Universal might delay them in America, but not Europe, which is I've been saying that might happen. That might happen because all of Europe's cinemas are already start by the end of this month are already gonna be reopened, except for Serbia or countries that have rising cases of the virus. So yep, I think that Europe is gonna have some impact and when Tenet comes out in their countries because there's a lot of movies that come out first in other countries, but they come out later in the U.S. For example, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was out for 2 weeks in other countries before it was out in America. I think that it's totally fine if Tenet releases later in America, but still comes out in Europe. Same thing in Mulan, especially in China and in Europe. Well, two big markets have been wanting big releases to come out. And of course, China, they have their own film industry, which of course they will probably been relying on for a while. Same thing with India, which I think a lot of theaters in India are closed. And in Japan, where they probably have to re-close theaters again because of the virus resurgence in Japan and India. And yep, that's basically it. Goodbye.